Hello, right, so we are now live. So welcome, Tony, from McFie Construction.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for joining us. So, yeah, how are you doing? You sound busy with everything going on?
Yeah, very busy at the minute, as you can imagine. Seems to be this sort of time everybody wants work done now. Everyone's at home and they're looking around and wanting work done.
Yeah.
So it's good, and it's good for us.
Good. I guess it's a busy time of year anyway, because you get the Christmas, everyone wants everything done and ready, but you've also got this year COVID situations and excitement.
Yeah.
And everything.
It is a bit like that. Everyone is excited. It is a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people are positive, which is quite good. A lot more
Yeah.
positive than I'd imagine, but yeah, it's good. It's very busy, and like you say, the run up to Christmas now is going to be an even crazier time, December, and then we'll have a nice break for a little while, hopefully.
That's it, yeah. Well, we had lots of talks with the architects and the kitchen guys and bathroom. Everyone's saying the same sort of thing. It's just been really, really busy, like in the property kind of world this year, and looks like it's going to continue long into next year as well. So, but yeah, look, I really appreciate your time today. I know you, like I say, you're busy, but it's getting to that point where we are looking for this session to help all the people that are registered to come in to get some good advice how they should choose the right builder. So I thought, well, what better way than to ask a third generation builder like yourself for good advice. So do you want to start off, Tony, by just introducing your company and yourself? Give us a bit of background about you.
Yes, so McFie Construction, that's the company name. Third generation builder. My father was a builder, he passed down all his experiences to me. And I used to work for him when I was young, and now it's sort of the other way around, which is quite good. We work well together. Although he's not only pops in now and again, he's semi-retired.
Yeah.
My team's quite strong, quite a good established set of trades. I've known for quite a long time, and it's one of them things where I've known them for years as well, and their dads were the same with them. They passed their knowledge down to them, so it's quite a close knit sort of team.
Yeah, great, very nice. So like I say, you've kindly prepared some top tips, which I'll go into now, and then we'll have a bit more of a chat throughout. And if anyone's watching and they've got any questions, then just pop them in the Q&A section of this webinar. And if you're watching this back later and you've got any questions, then Tony's around on the live chat as well via the profile, so feel free to get in touch. So we will go over to get started now. So how to choose the right builder. So we've got tip one then, Tony. Do you want to start at the top?
Yeah, so clear scope of works, very important. Very important to establish what is actually required of the builder, what you want done. And you can do that with the designer or with the builder. So just make sure you've covered all the topics. For example, doing a project at the minute, and it's a bit of an unforeseen element of the job. A glass splashback had not been mentioned in the scope, and it's a bit of conflict as to who installs it. So just make sure you've nailed all the details, all the points, because you can come to a situation where people aren't going to claim responsibility for doing the works.
Okay, so scope of works is it a document? Is it that's basically looking at the projects and everything detailed within it?
Yeah. So generally, it'll identify each stage of the build. So you'll start with the prelims, like or your site prelims, like welfare, right from things like your toilet throughout the duration of the project, hire a toilet, and then you'll have your foundations and your each point in the foundations, like the depth, the amount of concrete. Then you've got your walls, and it follows on from there. So every part of the build has an itemized and a list, and it's quantified so that you know what's what.
Yeah. Okay. Good detail. Like obviously, sets things off in the right way. Brilliant. Okay. So point 2 looks like a good one as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So trading history and testimonials, always good to get a lot of advice. Even from tradesmen that you know. So if you had a plasterer around your house, for example, you say, look, I'm looking for a builder. Plasterer could say, yeah, well, I know a builder actually doesn't work for him, he's good or whatever. And just speaking and communicating and getting testimonials from previous clients, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
And if you do, you can go and see it. If you'd always wonder if a builder wouldn't want you to speak to their previous clients, what the reason was. So be wary of that.
Yeah. Okay. So as a person, looking to go down that route, I'd be inclined and perfectly within my rights and to say, have you got any examples of your work that I could go and see and maybe talk to the client? You'd expect that, would you? Yeah.
I'd expect that, yeah. So with myself, I always go to the job that I'm doing at the minute. If I've got multiple jobs on, I could select the job that's closest to that type of build. If they say, oh yeah, we done a job 10 years ago, go and speak to this guy. Yeah. You're only as good as your last job, right? So that's what you should, recent jobs and close to what you're trying to do yourself.
Sure. Okay. Yes, it's like a really key one as well. Yeah. So
we just touched on that really. So experience in your type of project. If you're looking for a loft conversion, you wouldn't go and get a basement specialist to come in and quote for it. So although there'd be a good builder, you want someone who's got substantial knowledge and experience in what you're trying to achieve, because it'll be more streamlined, more efficient, and they've got a lot of experience in it. And all the local trades, it will be, it's very, very important.
Yeah. Interesting, just on that point, Tony, as well, about prices for things. So we did years ago when we lived in a house, we converted the loft. And I was blown away at the difference in price that I had from 3 or 4 different people that came around. So we had like loft specialists, which we actually went with in the end, but we had maybe your more sort of general builder as well. And the difference in price was really quite eye-opening, really. And it's kind of then trying to work out what you're buying for. But I guess that's where you're paying for experience, because we went with one of the more expensive quotes, but definitely at the end of it, we'd had a good experience, and we kind of did a great job out of it, and we're glad we did. So it's not shopping on price is probably the key message.
Yeah, you don't shop on price. Make sure it's included for everything. We'll go through that. Always get. I think we'll go through that later on with the 3 types of quotes. But if you go for the cheapest quote, it's not necessarily the best idea. They could have missed something, and you got hidden extras, and then before you know, you're above the more expensive quote that you had. Yeah.
That's actually your next point. Yeah. So again, I think people get nervous about, they get recommendations and they go in kind of going into something obviously quite big. So you want that trust, that feel-good factor. But I actually think, getting some perspective and speaking to different builders in that way maybe makes sense, like I just saying as well, especially to understand what you're actually getting and paying for, and ideas maybe as well.
Yes. So you want to build up, you get your project underway. You get at least 3 quotes, and it gives you a chance to meet each builder, and each builder's got different experiences that they can walk through, what they might have done in the past, give you some ideas. And also you get a feel for the builder, get a feel for the personality, because ultimately you're going to spend quite a bit of time with this person in your house. You wake up in the morning, half your kitchen's missing. You want to be able to get on with the person, and then your family and stuff, So that's quite important. Not just your knowledge. You have to be able to gel well with the person.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So. Yeah.
So professionalism. What was it for professionalism? Look for things like, when you go to previous clients for testimonials, ask them a few questions. So have they, were they reliable? That's a big thing. Did they show up on time? Were they communicate well with unforeseen problems? How was the communication? Was it frequent? Was it polite? These little things just add up to a smoother experience, and give you confidence in the end product that what you're actually going to get is what you set out for.
Yeah, like you say, they're going to be around a key part of your home for quite a while.
Yeah.
Your tea and coffee, and you've got to be able to get on with them and trust them, and
professionalism, even things like being tidy, clean and tidy, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, builders, they leave and we go home and we've got a nice tidy house, and you need to be left as much tidiness as possible. Even though it's a building site, it's still, there's no excuse not to keep clean and tidy. Just helps things run well as well.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. Tip 6.
Yeah, so payment terms. You don't want to avoid any confusion. So sometimes you have deposit, 10% deposits normally pretty standard. Never pay anything more than like a 20-25% deposit. So because obviously we've got costs, initial costs up front, have to pay for materials and prelims. So get deposit set out and agreed, and then payment terms could be anything that you agree. It could be fortnightly payment terms where you tick off the scope of works and pay for what you've done, or a percentage. But it just ultimately it gives people, each party, a know where they stand and when they're getting paid, and how you can prepare for drawing funds out and whatnot.
Great, yeah. Okay. And tip 7 was one that made complete sense to me. But again, I know so many people that have gone down this route, spending absolute fortunes, and just on a kind of a handshake scenario.
Yeah, I mean, you can do, but there's no harm in having a contract. It gives people, both parties understand what's been agreed.
Yeah.
It reduces confusion. So you could, during the build process, a lot of things are going on, and you could easily forget who's responsible for what. And if it's written down and signed, it reduces the confusion. It gives you peace of mind as well for both parties.
Yeah.
So, and it can include all your summary of works, any key points by build control, or the budget, and even what we mentioned in the previous slide, the payment terms. Just helps reduce confusion, as I said before, and gives people peace of mind.
Excellent. Okay, good. So we've got a few questions to run through. So, I mean, those tips are brilliant, Tony. I think they're really good, and what we've actually create a guide out of these and give that to everybody as well, and refer that to you. So I know you're actually yourself. So before we get into the questions, that you're offering a free consultation for anyone that's going into any building work as well, which is brilliant. So for those of you that want to get in touch with Tony and the team, if you go to the exhibitors area, so I'm hovering over there, you go in, you can find McFie's landing page there. There's a section like this you can fill in to get in touch, or click on the live chat to talk to Tony this weekend, but follow up at any point in the future. And now we'll go on to a few of the questions that have come through. So I'll just get Tony back on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question I had from before this session, actually from someone that had emailed us, but was about what do people need to have in order to talk to you about a project? So I thought that was quite a good one. What do they need?
So I'd expect, if it's a big project, a detailed set of plans, a clear scope of works, just something that a guide for me to price from. If they're expecting a price from me, or even just some advice, it'd still be nice to have an idea and a clear set of drawings to guide me in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. So I guess that depends. Yeah. Obviously, like what sort of project it is, but probably first thing is to get in touch and ask, is it, and just say, what do I need?
Yeah. If it's, like I said, it's a small project, and it doesn't really require a designer, I can get involved right from the beginning, help them out, and even complete right through to the end stage.
Right.
If it's something a bit out of my range, or internet connection is unstable.
Right, you're back.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then another question was, how do I set a budget for an extension? So, is there any general advice to know what what's realistic?
Yeah, so chat to a few builders. You can work on a square meterage price, find out what sort of people are sort of charging on a ballpark figure, and then you can work out what sort of size project you're going to be able to build. And obviously spec as well. You wouldn't want to go and spec it too high. It depends on the type of property you've got. It has to warrant what it's sitting in.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. And so Lucy has just put a question in about, I have a complete renovation over 4 floors. Would you recommend getting a separate specialist builder for the basement, which needs the floor lowering, rather than one for the whole job?
Yes, the basement specialist would be a good idea. If the basement's already there, then possibly not. But if you're actually going to reduce the earthworks, excavate, then you need a specialist to do all the tanking and waterproofing. You can have a lot of problems. There's been so many problems with basements recently because it's a bit of a boom the last sort of 10 years of basements, and now there's a lot of problems arising. So definitely be cautious of that.
Great. Okay. So, and would you help source one then? So if that was part of the requirements, for example?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So as a contractor, we work with different types of other building contractors, and basement specialists is somebody we can help with, point in the right direction, work alongside, project manage, and just take on a package for the client and just give them confidence that, you know, we do our due diligence, show them 3 different types of specialists, and go from there.
Okay, superb. Great stuff. Okay. And the final question, something you'd mentioned recently to me, actually, that I just noted down, but you described a turnkey service for customers as well. So what does that encompass?
Yeah, so right from the beginning, design stage, right through to completion. Like, for example, today, had the cleaners on the job, doing a build clean, and it's just like the final touch. You know, you just move in, you haven't got to worry about anything. It's all clean and immaculate, as if you just put your furniture in.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so I haven't got to worry about anything. I'll take it over different stages.
Yeah, cool. Okay. All right, Tony. Well, that's great. So yeah, if anyone's got any other questions, then feel free to get in touch with Tony and the team direct at any point. And thanks very much for your time, Tony, and joining us. And you're back tomorrow because I know you've got a particular specialism in heritage and conservation type properties and experience. So we'll be going into that in more detail tomorrow. So join us back then. And yeah, for now, Tony, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers. Thanks, then. Bye.
Bye. Bye.